Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Hi.
Today we have an absolutely fantastic Kickstarter come through. It is Turtles: Shadows of the Past.
What is it?
This is a huge pile of miniatures with a game underneath it, and it's a skirmish game. Good guys versus bad guys. One plays the baddie, everybody else is the goodies, and it's just, as you'd expect, punching, swinging, chopping, fun all the way.
Mediocre complexity in there as well. It's
Yeah.
Mid-weight game, so
It's got depth.
Midweight board game to a war game. But let's talk about what's inside the box.
What do you get?
Yeah, when I first opened this box, I was actually very impressed. This is the Kickstarter edition that you can see. That's why there's so many minis here. But you know what? In the normal version, I think that you get almost as much.
No.
There's three books. There's three books, but one of them's the Kickstarter one. So the Kickstarter just had Bebop and Rocksteady and Super Shredder. Some extra. Oh, the Rat Catchers, I think, came in. It's hard for me to actually know the difference.
Well, from an outside, because I wasn't involved with the Kickstarter at all, but it just, you've obviously put on some pledges and all the rest of it.
Yes.
You do not get this many in your standard 60, 70, 80 quid board game. You don't get this much stuff, do you?
This will be
an immense amount of stuff on the table.
This will be a premium price, I imagine, when it is in the store. So you can see there's quite a lot of cardboard parts in it, but the cardboard mostly acts as terrain or interactive objects. They differentiate these boards.
Yeah.
Because every map,
Pile of garbage bags.
every map, joins together. So you get them, but then to make a difference, then they'd be like, oh, there's a computer terminal over here, and there's a question mark here. And then what will happen is, in the book, it'll explain what you need to do with that. These books are really detailed. They got lovely, animation, graphics for, exactly what boards you're going to be playing on. The art of the cards, I keep on saying to Pete, it's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, good, yeah.
They've
really
had
good.
the best artists involved with this, in my opinion, just because it captures exactly the characters and what's going to happen. The miniatures, they go from really good to very plain.
I think I've not seen a bad one yet. We've only had a couple of games, but we've leafed through the miniatures. The turtles themselves are great. Sais got all the two different versions.
The turtles are lovely, but it would have been good if there's slight variations with them. I mean, I know that they didn't want to make a hobby out of it and stick them together, but every foot soldier is in the same pose. The brawlers, the same pose.
Yeah, that's what you get with board games, isn't it?
Yeah, these are all obviously painted up when you get them. They're just grey. Everything's grey except for the turtles are that colour green. What else do you get? Dice.
Loads of dice. Yeah, the dice are a big thing.
They're D6s, but they don't have D6 numbers.
They're
so
not standard.
the calculation is done like that. But it's done in a very different way, which we'll explain now in the rules.
How does it work?
We were just saying about the dice. What you have is every turtle has a certain amount of dice each, and each dice corresponds to an action they can do. So
this is the core mechanic.
Yeah. So the core mechanic will be you're going to roll all your dice for each turtle
at the start of the turn.
At the start of your turn, and then what will happen is you'll get your different things. So the shuriken will be a range attack, the katana is a close combat attack, the skateboard is a movement action. But you get to put your dice down any way you fancy. So what will happen then is Michelangelo will have rolled them as well, and then Donatello is next to Michelangelo, so they get to share each other's combat dice. It's a really, really cool mechanic. I haven't actually seen it done before, and I think it works really nicely.
The key thing is placement of the dice. It's intended to be that there's 4 players playing the turtles, one each, and one guy playing the bad guys. So you share your end dice with your neighbour if you're a turtle player. So your next door neighbour can borrow that dice and he can borrow that dice. So at the start of the turn it becomes very tactical about where you put those dice.
Exactly.
There's a bit of
Except
detail
for
around Raphael.
Raphael says, I don't want to use other people's dice.
He'll share his out, but he won't share anybody else's in. To compensate for that, you get 6 dice rather than usually 3.
So, I mean, and each turtle, I had a good think about it after our games, and I really thought it was brilliant. Like Michelangelo is absolutely brilliant at moving. Donatello has really good support actions. He's also better at defending than the other ones.
Yeah.
He's best defensive. Leonardo has some his abilities. His strength is in what he can actually generate, what he can actually throw out.
And he's the choppy guy, isn't he? He's supposed to be.
Raphael is the scariest because he's got the most amount of dice. Raphael has potential to be like, I'm going to just roll 100 dice at you. Raphael has the biggest potential, but that I guess reflects in the comics as well. That he has the potential.
But he's moody, so he won't share his dice or he won't share other people's dice because he's got he marches to his own beat.
Exactly. The bad guys are actually a little bit more boring, in my opinion. They have set placement at the start, and they got reinforcement zones, so they'll keep on getting more troops in as the game goes on. But that's kind of a slow build mechanic. They each have cards, just like the turtles. So you've all got these standard cards that just explain what they, how far they can move, how many dice they roll to attack. I should point out as well, your attack dice are different to the turtle dice as well. So you've got this pool of attack dice which have like a defend symbol and an attack symbol. So that's what happens.
Single combat, hits versus blocks basically.
They cancel each other out, and it's as simple as that. And depending on how many defend dice you have in your pool, that's how many you roll. It's a very simple mechanic with a massive, big tactical strategy element to it. It's not a kids game by a long shot. The bad guys as well have these groups, and they'll constantly be playing cards down. They'll actually
so the baddies the turtles are activated one by one. You activate a turtle, activate a bad guy, or
you do two bad guy cards.
You do. So
2 activations.
The bad guy activations works through a hand of cards that's drawn from this huge pile here. So it might be this card lets you activate 2 baddies who can move and shoot. And then your next card might be the same card again, I presume. So you can activate the same or different 2 bad guys who can move and shoot.
Well, you got the turning around. In a turn, you can't do the same guys.
Oh, you're not right.
There's all these little. There's quite the rule book, as thin as it is, has quite a lot of complexity, but the wording's quite well done, I have to say. For the amount of actions that could have been over complex or explained badly and whatever, I think the game itself mechanically works very well.
Yeah, there's a bit of stuff on the maps as well. Should mention about the height of terrain. You can there's the rooftops are in here, so you can leap off rooftops. You'll take a load of damage unless you land in a pile of garbage bags or something. There's all that sort of fluff terrain going on, isn't there? There's fire escapes to run up and down to get on and off the roofs and things like that.
Let's talk about our opinion on it.
Is it any good?
Well, I am a massive Turtles fan, so just the Turtles fluff alone makes me love it. I can't wait.
Yeah, now we discuss the secret of a good board game. The fluff sells it completely.
I do.
Rules are secondary.
I'm telling you, the fluff of a game will sell it. If this wasn't Turtles, and this was
no, if this was like
character 1,
Shinobi
character 2.
or something, some generic ninja thing.
I wouldn't. I don't think I could dig it.
Yeah.
These books are absolutely gorgeous, and they've got all these little comics that tell you what's going on. I didn't even tell you that.
No, I saw them in the distance. Yeah.
So
little episodic things.
So there's a little story. I keep on having to repeat. Here's the story. What's going on? Then it'll tell you very, very clearly. This is what the bad guy will get. This is what the good guy will get. And they haven't made it so it's really unbalanced. So that if the bad guy keeps on winning, it's not because
there is. Because I'm not that into Turtles, I was too old for it when it came out really, but it's alright, I like it, but I noticed they studiously avoided, I don't know if this is deliberate or legal, they've they do not touch the movies, the recent movies, in any way, shape or form. This feels very much like the comics, the old Seaside arcade game,
Yes.
and the TV show that was on, the broom cupboard years ago.
Well,
it's
they
that
are
kind of stuff.
They are the cartoon version.
Is it
really,
a modern cartoon?
There's
version by the
some.
look of them?
These Kickstarter came with the other version, the comic version, and the cartoon version.
Yeah.
So that's a lovely touch, in my opinion, to do that. There's room for expansion as well, which I really hope they do, because they could so easily just say, "Here's another book."
Well, I noticed I don't see
here's a
Krang anywhere, so he's right for the first expansion, isn't he? The Krang or the Krang little squiggly pink guy and his robots and all that. There's these fellas something to do with those?
Mausers?
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Are they not? That's
but
what I know.
look at Baxter Stockman or the Rat King. I mean, there is just so many bad guys they could stick in.
Yeah.
They could even be like, they could release a Shredder pack. Okay, I'd love to see a Shredder release with another version of Shredder.
There's 2 Shredders already.
There's 2 Shredders already, but they could do a third one if they wanted to. And the third Shredder is, but that could have a specific mission book with him, and they could base it all around him, and then they could stick in more allies with different missions, and really just try and build the game. Probably much like Imperial Assault the way it is, but try and keep it sticking to a campaign mode. What would destroy this game is if they decided that we'll try and make a tournament version of it as well.
That'd be very interesting, but they've not done that. It does feel a little bit like the Imperial Assault campaign in some ways, if you've played that. Because you're going through, right, this is mission 1. If you win, then you go to mission 3. If he wins, go to mission 2.
It's got that.
There's little, if you
but they took away the currency, they took away the weapons, the upgrades.
Yeah,
like
they simplified that. No bad thing, really.
Oh, in a good way. The fact that, okay. Here you go. Yeah, map's done as well. Like, that's an Imperial Assault bugbear, isn't it? That they're sticking together these map tiles. I mean, it's great that the maps are different, but at the same time, it's that's not what people really want.
Well, that's what the Imperial Assault, when you're using the same tiles over and over, but when you build a map, it feels very different. Because that slight kink in the corridor or that big room next to the little room or whatever. I always found that. This remains to be seen, but I think
true.
Comparing the last game to this map we're going to play tonight, it looks and feels very different. It's 2 big open areas. There's also little ginnels and corridors in the last one, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think.
I think they'll get away with it. It's just more practical to have standard big block maps. Bang bang, your map's done.
What I like is that raised mechanic as well. I think it's great.
Yeah, that was pretty much missing from Imperial Assault, wasn't it? No roofs or climbing or terrain things like that.
Overall, this game is a solid cowabunga for me. This is a game. If this is out when I was a kid, I would have played this through.
You'd have sold your siblings to buy.
I would have been. Yeah, I can't believe this game hasn't been made yet. And it's brilliant.
It is odd, isn't it? It took this long to make it. It's strange that.
No, it's great. All right. Well, I hope you liked the video, and we did it justice. So
it's alright, it's good. Even if you're not into Turtles that much, it's brilliant. It's a good game, really good system.
He's just sold it for you as well. If you like Turtles, then you'll go nuts for it. Cheers for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Hello and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Hello.
Today we have very little to introduce except Cowabunga! I might use that, I don't know. I'll see how it looks.